Hey there, guys, it's me again. Palesa. I'm a technical evangelist for the Sweka region, which is Southwest, East, and Central Africa. So I'm just going to go straight into it. I'm not going to talk about myself. So you'll see that in front of us, I've got the Nintex Workflow Cloud login screen. So I'm just going to log in quickly. And then what I've also got in another tab is just a login into SalesForce. So I'm also going to log in there. So you guys are already familiar with some of the features on Nintex Workflow Cloud. So I'm only concentrating for the sake of this post just on the connection into SalesForce. So at first glance, you'll see right here on the left-hand side, we've got a nice little link over there for connections, right? So I can easily set up a connection to my SalesForce. So in essence, what I'm telling Nintex Workflow Cloud is that, this is the connection that I'm going to be using to connect to my SalesForce environment using this username and this password. So what I'm going to do now quickly is I'm just going to create a SalesForce connection. I'm going to select on the drop down, and then I'm just going to call this maybe the initials of my name and then SalesForce, so that I know it's SalesForce, right? And then the endpoint address, that's fine. Can click on connect over here. You'll see that it's going to give me a nice little pop-up where I can then go ahead and reuse my credentials to log on to SalesForce. So I'm going to quickly sign in, put in the password over there, and I can say log in. And then the cool thing is that what it's going to do in the background, it's just going to ask me if I want to give Nintex Workflow Cloud access. I'm just going to click on allow. And then once that is done, I'll have my SalesForce connector available on this list. So I've gotten a nice little pop-up to tell me that the connection has been created. If you guys take a close look over here, I've got this nice little view where I can see my connector, right? And I can delete it at any time. So now what we're going to do now is create a workflow, because remember, SalesForce will be our trigger and then Nintex will do the automation part of things, right? So I'm going to simply go into create a workflow. It's going to open the workflow designer. So for anyone who's seen this for the first time, this is very similar to our on-premise as well as our Office 365 designers. We have a nice little design canvas over there, which looks like a blank new visual diagram. You can see where it starts, where it ends. And then over here, we've got all of our actions nicely grouped over there. And the fun fact is that this actually works with a touch screen device. Pretty cool, eh? So first things first, you'll see that in Nintex Workflow Cloud, we have this little gear with an orange background, which tells us, look, you need to configure this, right? And if I go ahead and I click on that, my start event will actually be the SalesForce connector that I've got, right? So I'm just going to select SalesForce over here, and then this is what I was talking about in my blog post. So these are the different events that Nintex Workflow Cloud is able to listen to. So the workflow can kick off when you have a new account, when the new case is open, maybe when a case gets updated. The list is not endless, but it's pretty long. So I'm going to do something really simple. Let's do one where we create a new contact. Nice thing is that this is almost wizard driven. So the next thing that I need to do is to configure the start event. So you'll see here under connection, I can reference the connection that I've created already. And the really cool thing as well is I have the ability to actually see the parameters that are required, right? So it's able to pick up some of the information that we'll need from SalesForce and actually map it to variables. So with the on-premise version or the Office 365 version of Nintex Workflow, these are typically like your workflow start variables. So I'm just going to click close, and you'll see that gear has disappeared. It's gone away. So now what this means is that my workflow will listen to SalesForce, and when a new contact is created, it will kick off. So let's do something simple. Let's just send an email. So I'm going to add the send an email link over there. And then just for all intents and purposes, I'm going to use my personal email address or my work email address. I don't do everything on this. And then what I'm going to do as well is in the subject line, I'm going to reuse some of those parameters that I have. So I'm not going to add a new variable. I don't need that. I'm going to reuse those start event variables. So let's just grab the first name as an example. First name, insert, maybe space, add another variable. Maybe I want the last name this time. So I'm just going to select last name has been added to SalesForce. And then we can make this a bit personal. Good day. A new contact with the following details: name, surname. Let's add one more over here, maybe the email address. I'm just keeping it simple, just trying to show you the whole concept behind this. So I can go ahead, next to name, I can reference the person's name. So the first name, oops, I missed that. And then, oops, I want first name. So I'm gonna go over here, select first name, say insert, surname, same thing. So just another note, what I like about this is that this is really slick. I just like how slick the interface is. And then if we go to email, the following details, maybe we'll say was added on, and let's just reference the created date just to see what it looks like. And then now that gear as well has disappeared for this action. I can go ahead and say publish, which should actually publish, save and publish my workflow. So I'm just gonna call this my name so I can keep track of it. P.E. Sikwani, new contact notification. So let's say new SalesForce. It's pretty long. Let's just publish it. I don't really want a description. Nice thing as well, this ties in back to some of the changes we've made with NWC. It's got a pretty nice animation there. There's the modal pop-up telling me the workflow has been published. And now should I close this, under my workflow dashboard or the workflow list or the workflow inventory or whatever you choose to call it, you'll see my workflows over there, right? And then let's put it to the test. Let's go ahead and create a new contact in SalesForce and see if this works. So I've logged onto my SalesForce environment, and then what I'm literally going to do is that I'm going to create a new contact. And then I'm going to put in the last name. Where's my first name? Over here. So let's say Mr. I'll use my second name as my first name just for the sake of this demo. I'm in information technology. Let's say, yeah. What else do we want? The email address. So email will be something like palesa.sikwani@mintex.com. A coin. And then let's just say save. Should be happy with that. Oops, I need to check a few things. I've got a comma there instead of a full stop. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say save. Should be happy with that. Perfect. So what's happened now is that, the workflow should have kicked off automatically. And it will send me an email notification with all of my data from SalesForce. So let's go quickly and check my emails. So I'm just going to quickly look for that. Oh, there we go. There's the email. It's come from nintex@workflowcloud.com. If I open that, you'll see that the email has actually sent in the format that I configured on my email action, which is pretty cool, right? So good day, new contact with the following details: name Emmanuel, surname Sikwani, email address was added. And then as you can see over there, it's got a date and a timestamp. So in a nutshell, that's how you'd build a workflow that kicks off from SalesForce using Nintex Workflow Cloud. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was short and informative. Bye.